Welcome back, Randy Strossen from Iron Mind, together with myself, David Goldstrom. Hope you're enjoying the action. Just 2.5 minutes away from the start to the clean and jerk here. And Oleg Chen, the world silver medalist representing Russia, 13 kilos ahead of his closest pursuer. What do you reckon, Randy? Enough?
Well, you hope it's going to be a lucky 13, right?
Yeah.
You know, opened up the lead. We said he might be off the front of the pack. Indeed, he is. Maybe even better, you know, for him. He's still on paper got the highest opener in the clean and jerk, but it's going to be a close fight in the clean and jerk. I think you snooze, you lose in the clean and jerk.
He was 180, which he did in the under-23 Europeans last year, 180 in Paris as well. Gained a little bit of perspective. Galabin Boevski's European clean and jerk record, 196. 197 is the world record from Zhang Guozheng of China. And we're not going to get there today, but just to give you a little idea. Now, I need to just bring you up to date with where we are at the halfway stage. The man who lifted earlier in the B group, that's Sergei Shesha of Moldavia. He totaled up 315, so technically he's the leader because he's finished all of his lifting. And Ekrem Shalil of Turkey, who has been coming back. He's been on the sideline list. He's a very good lifter at 307. They're having to bring him back really delicately. And Petr Petrov of the Czech Republic, 282. Those were the top three in the group B earlier on in the day. I keep thinking to myself, I wish there was a better name than Group B. It doesn't exactly sound terribly flattering, does it?
What if we called second string? It would be worse, right?
Well, it's like Premier and Championship sounds a bit better than, you know, A and B.
But, you know, look, we've got 10 lifters tonight in A session. You know 5 of them are not in contention, right? Yeah. Okay, now you've got lifters below that. Let's be frank. You know, they're not likely. Every now and then, right, someone will schmortzkopf us. They'll produce a medal out of B session, but you know, the exception proves the rule.
Now here's the thing, Randy, in the Olympic Games, weightlifting is the only sport that I can possibly think of where you don't actually qualify for the final.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like track and field where you go into the 100-meter heats and you progress to the quarterfinals and the semis and the finals. I mean, here your coach puts in your entry total and then an anonymous person decides whether your entry total warrants you going into the medal final or the B group. And it actually begs a question whether there should be a different form of qualification so that you actually get people who've earned one of, say, the top 8 places to go for the medals.
So you're fomenting revolution. Is that the point here?
I'm posing a question.
Okay.
So Samuel Grigorian coming out to get us underway in 10th place. Now, just to put this in perspective, he's way behind Oleg Chen, but he's only 5 kilos behind Matam of France, who's currently in 2nd place.
Whoa, that could have been bad. You know, we talked about how, you know, if you have an elbow touch on the knee, the lift is no good, but worse than that for the lifter, it's a great way to break his wrist. Here we're going to see what happens when you miss a clean and why you can get psyched out. Elbow's not going to hit on anything, but the bar's going to come back on his wrist. Oh yeah, elbow did graze, and that's what happens. And I'll tell you, it hurts. It happens to every lifter at least once. So in some ways, you're lucky maybe if your wrist breaks because it can be less painful. But that's one of the fears you have about going under the bar, and why you'll see lifters sometimes get psyched out. They'll choke. They'll just do a deadlift out there because they envision that sort of thing happening to them.
Yeah, and Grigorian, he only got 1 out of 3, so he's not in good shape. He really isn't in good shape. And he's got 1.5 minutes now to try and repair the damage. And as you rightly said, he's got to show the aggression. He's got to be prepared to get under the bar.
Test the nerves now, you know, after that first attempt. Moving that hand around, stretching that wrist out a little bit. Oh man, you know, Good for him, first of all, but did you see how close he came to rolling over in that right foot? I mean, wrist is bad, ankle is even worse. The only reason we don't talk about ankles that much is because they don't have much. Watch his right foot, though.
Well, I can't really see it from this moment.
Well, we might see it, though. It's me and the jerk. Look at that, look at that. Oh, man, that could have just been gruesome. You know, you talk about trying to train through a sprained wrist. Well, imagine trying to train through a sprained or broken ankle. You know, it's going to really limit you. I could feel the pain in that up here.
He's under the cosh. Nobody else wants 165. Lowest start number.
That was a nice overhead shot showing the bar on the fingertips. We've mentioned this. It's not a press. You don't have to have a death grip on the bar for the jerk. Power is going to come from the floor, through your hips, through your legs, transmitted to the bar. You'll see lifters sometimes jerk with the bar just on the tips of their fingers.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? You know, if you really grab the bar really tightly, then the tension actually increases and you're actually working against yourself.
Right, and you're more inclined then to try to press the bar, which is just what you don't want to do.
I can think of another analogy.
Is there anything you can share over the air?
Well, let's hope you guess this one, and then we'll have a chat about it. Save the day, 2 out of 6.
Really, you know, I was thinking, okay, so first a wrist, then an ankle. What joints are you going for next? A knee?
Well,
but good lift, you know, that was smooth, shook things off. Okay, second pull on the clean,
2 to 1. 2 to 1, Randy.
Yeah, we'll watch for press up maybe. No, I don't see press out. Do you see oscillation?
I didn't really reckon that. No, what I was going to say was, you know, talking about the bar biting back, it might be, you know, if you grip it too hard, then it can't talk to you, but it can actually punish you. But it's like, you know, equestrian riders, if they start to get nervous and they lose their courage and everything else, and it translates through the reins to the horse.
Interesting.
The horse starts to disobey because it's not getting good instructions. Now, Dejan Minchev, 9th place at the halfway stage. Another man on 140 kilos, coming in at 166 here. This would take him up to 3rd overall and 3rd in the clean and jerk rankings. So let's have a look at this. I mean, he did 140. Now, according to his coach, that was a kilo short of what was required. He's now required to do 170. And assuming he missed a kilo, which he did, he's got to actually go 171 to make amends. 175, the opening weight posted by Oleg Chen. Dabaya, 172. Matam, his French teammate, also 172. And a whole host of them on 170. And that's where the bar's headed right now. This Olympic platform that you'll see in London, it's been part of a somewhat tortuous development by Lyco, but they seem to have got it right. Part of the problem was, in the test event, was that it wasn't gripping, wasn't it? It was quite slippy on the surface.
I heard all sorts of stories about it.
But this seems to be working. This works really well now.
Yeah, I think it was a source of frustration to a lot of parties, and I'm really happy to see Lyco get it ironed out.
They've worked hard and they've done it, so that's the good news. It's one of those where you could be too grippy or not grippy enough.
Too bad. You know, I hadn't heard that about the grippiness. I heard it
gained the elbow, which was troubling him.
Yeah, favored a little bit, just lost that. Solid clean here. Get set. Jerk. Looks good. You prefer to recover with the front leg coming back in line first. This platform's a dead ringer for what we'll see in London?
Essentially, yes.
Because what I'm wondering is, will Aleko be on there, the name Aleko, on the London stage?
Now it comes to the Olympic code.
Yeah, that's what I was just curious about, because I know Aleko will be on the barbell. They won't take it off because it's part of the design of the equipment. They're the official supplier of barbells at the Olympic Games. But I'm just curious, whether or not Aleko would also be on the platform.
We'll find out and let you know.
Yeah, it's gorgeously. Well, I'll be there, fortunately.
170 on the bar for Betula Yunder. Yunder Betula, the younger of the two Bulgarians. First attempt, 170.
Well, that foot was slipping. Did you see that? The rear foot, we're just talking about adhesion on the platform, and look at that. His rear foot was slipping.
Very deep split.
Yeah, very, very wide, but I'll tell you, this was not a good-looking lift. I mean, he almost does what's called hitching here, almost stops, and then really throw, with the bar at mid-thigh height, and then really throws his head back. Watch his left foot right there. Yeah, if there's chalk on that platform, it's going to be slippery a bit. I don't know why that loss of traction.
Godelli. Bronze medal at the halfway stage for 145 kilos in the snatch phase. So he's one of three men actually, 13 kilos off the halfway leader.
Well, power cleans that.
Well, there's no way those arms locked out.
Yeah, this is what happens sometimes. You get a lifter where the clean and jerk are really out of proportion with each other. Obviously, he's got a much stronger clean than jerk. He can power clean what, at least in this attempt, he cannot successfully jerk.
A little more pressure amongst these guys. They all know that they're in a big bunch. Again, they all did pretty well actually in the first half of the competition. Compliments to the field. This is tougher.
Yeah, guys. About 145 in the snatch. I mean, before that, it was like one good lift after another.
Yeah.
Boy, clean looked a lot like the last attempt to me. The jerk was fine. He's really kind of waving that bar around, though, at the top, huh? Watch when he's got the bar overhead and the jerk. After he recovers, watch the bar move, sort of tipping around a little bit, shaking, twisting. And, he's strong enough he can control that.
Still the bound from the B group earlier in the day on 3:15 leads the way. Bar going to 171 for Dejan Minchev, and this is a 5 kilo increase. Shows you that the Moldovan Sheshir with 175, very decent effort that. It is actually the amount of kilos that he finished on that Oleg Chen is going to start on, and also Bayramov of Azerbaijan. But this is Minchev. Currently Minchev on 306. So this to take him to 311, up into second place in the clean and jerk. Third for the overall, getting a little tougher. Okay. Now we're back on the money. 171. We're now back where the coach wanted him to be. He's got one more go at it, so he can put a little icing on the cake.
I don't think there's a lot of reserve on this jerk. Once again, he's kind of leaning back, and I think, a little bit more weight in that. I'm not sure those arms would have stayed locked out.
The bar coming in for 172 as planned. Now, as we mentioned in the first half, at the height of his powers, well, 180s were regular, 187, 188, 186, some of his big numbers. But starting on 172 here. And maybe, again, building the confidence, but also keeping in mind that London's not far away. You don't want to do anything stupid at this stage. You've got 100 days after this to finish off his preparations for the Olympics. There are those fingers again. Adjust the hands.
I don't know. I think he is looking good, although is there something wrong with his hand, or is he cramping maybe? He's holding the fingers. He's stretching out the fingers on his left hand. Might be cramping his fingers. Very strong, clean. Bars on his fingertips. Going to move his hands out because he does not have great lockout. But look, that's a strong jerk. This is the best lifting we've seen. I mean, if he does nothing else tonight, the best lifting we've seen in years of Dabaya.
Yeah, he did 138, 175 for 313 in Paris, but big difference, only 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
He really saved the day in Paris just.
Yeah, and I don't make him sound like an old man, but it's just that we saw such a rapid and complete meltdown over the last few years of him, and he looks completely different again tonight, I think.
Yeah,
happy to see it.
100% at the moment, 4 out of 4. Let's hope it continues for him. And now Avetisian of Armenia, bringing forward 144 kilos in 5th place at the halfway stage, so certainly in there with a shout of overall and clean and jerk medals. Never seemed to really settle into that.
Yeah, kind of in and out. Never really racked it. Racking means you holding the bar across the shoulders, whipping the elbows around right here. Doesn't really get under it. Those elbows need to be up a little bit higher. Sometimes if you hang back just a little bit, or if you're pulling it a little bit out front, maybe it bounces, put the bar a little bit out front, you're going to see this happen. It's like trying to front squat with the bar 6 inches in front of you. It's not going to work.
And the Armenians actually having a bit of a torrid time because Grigorian only just saved the day with 2 out of 6, 305. Interesting with the Armenians, they seem to have their best form both in the men's and the women's division just seems to have evaporated.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Bulgarians, David, isn't it? I mean, we're used to seeing the Armenians and they're like, okay, who's going to win the gold medal? Who's going somewhere else? Instead, as with the Bulgarians tonight, what are we seeing? They're down the bottom of the field.
Yeah, I mean, the Armenians seem to have been replaced by Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation. And Moldova really is holding its head up, I think also is like a comer,
Russia, Poland and the Ukraine are 3 European countries who've achieved the maximum quota of 6 lifters for the Olympic Games in the men's division. Turkey and Azerbaijan 5, Belarus, Albania and Armenia 4. Georgia, France, Romania and Germany have 3 places. But Slovakia, Lithuania, Spain, Greece, Hungary, Czech Republic, Latvia, Belgium and Italy, at the moment, they've got no man scheduled to go. Now, back to the present. Avetisian, second attempt, 172. Down buzzer, and pretty confident that'll be okay.
Yes.
2 to 1, so
it's good enough. Strong clean, and then he's going to hit this jerk. Let's see what happens. That right arm wobbling, maybe. With the referees, they'll get criticized probably no matter what they do. Too lenient, too fast.
Well, I still stand by last night, the Romanian Crotoru.
Yeah.
For me, that was wobbly arms. I don't think those arms unlocked.
Yeah.
And I think that was, it's my opinion, and I'm not the jury, I'm not the referee, but for me, given the 1 or 2 other decisions that we've seen, I think that should have been a good lift and shouldn't have been overturned.
Right.
And on such decisions,
Yes.
air tickets to the Olympic Games sometimes depend.
Yep.
Matam, France. Second place at the halfway stage, 13 kilos behind Oleg Chen.
Boy, the guy's going over backwards with that.
This is for the lead in the overall.
People are going to start to call this the French style of jerking, with the grip that's about snatch with. Very unusual technique. You saw this in the snatch also. You should be pulling ideally with your shoulders well over the bar. He's almost vertical in comparison when he starts the pull. Very unusual. Watch the hand position on the jerk.
Yeah, that's a little worrying, isn't it, Randy?
Yeah, I think, frankly, some of these... boy, in that one, it looked like the right elbow was really close to the right knee, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think the bitter truth is that, some people have bodies that are better built for the ideal positions in the sport, okay? Now, having to move your hands in this position is a way to try to compensate for having an imperfect build for that particular lift. So he's compensating for the mechanics by moving his body around. Wider grip because he doesn't have good lockout, or maybe his shoulders aren't so flexible. But you can see, that jerk, wasn't close, and fortunately, I will hope that he'll bounce back.
Yeah, so somewhat worrying. He did 181 in Paris, so 173.
Watch his start, though, on the pull, on the clean. Instead of the shoulders being well in front of the bar, and watch, he'll almost be vertical in comparison.
Just under half a minute.
I can tell you that hurts to watch. It's like, please don't make me do that.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for the left arm on the jerk. Not rocked back as hard, but still leaning toward the back. Now watch the left arm on the jerk.
Well, he's certainly got the instructions from his coach there.
Yeah. You sort of feel, though, don't you, that it's a little bit of a medieval torture for him?
Yeah.
Like he's on the rack out there.
Yeah, the Matam Brotherhood working.
Yeah, being twisted, though, on the lifts. On the lifts, he's going through these contortions to do these lifts.
So here's Oleg Chen, the man who's got a really good advantage of 13 kilos and coming out for his opener. Now, a little earlier in the day, when we were looking at the women's 58 kilos, we had Romela Begaj of Albania. Okay, she only had a 4 kilo advantage, but we thought that she'd probably done enough. Surely 13 kilos should be enough of a cushion to see this man take his first ever senior European title, but these weights have got to be lifted, and 180 is the best in competition, so he's not that far away from that. He did have a new personal best in the first half of the competition, 158, which is a new personal best by a kilo. Russia.
Whoa. See, this is why it's never over till it's over. You know, you can imagine what fear there is in the hearts of that camp right now. What happened on that, right? Let's watch. He looks at his hand as he comes off. He met the bar very high, and why does he relax at that point and dump that? I don't know.
And here's the other man who is about to start for the first time, Bayramov, representing Azerbaijan. 7th place at the halfway stage, 143 kilos. Now, a good first lift here could really pull him up in the order. He would go into the overall lead if he lifts this.
Yeah, very, very fast under the bar. Good lift. Now, I was watching on that one, you know, is this going to be oscillation or not? You know, I mean, he doesn't come to a dead stop. Watch when he stands up. Boy, he was really fast. Elbows get whipped around. Well, a little cut there, so it's not fair to judge it based on that. But nice lift. You know, he did what he needed to do.
So in the overall situation at the moment, Bayramov goes into the lead with a total of 318. Matam, who's now dropped to 2nd place by virtue of heavier body weight. Avetissian of Armenia in 3rd, 316. And a man from Moldova actually in 4th place now, which just shows you how good his 315 was. Now this is Kalya, Albania, also on 315, and this is a 5 kilo increase to take him to 320 to go into the lead in the total, but not in the clean and jerk. Well, as he jerks it up there, Randy, you could just see that bar come forward, the hips left behind.
Yeah.
He can't walk under the bar to save that.
Yeah, you know, it really strikes me, you know, how heavy this weight is for these guys. Okay, 175 kilos. We are a mile from the world record of 197 kilos. What a gap. Okay, 175 is looking really heavy here tonight.
When you talk about the Grand Canyon, I'm thinking about the Mariana Trench.
He tried to, you know, you got to give the guy credit. He tried to stagger forward to save that jerk, but it just wasn't to be.
Now, Godelli, yet to get a clean and jerk to give him a total. So this is pretty crucial.
Boy, I don't know. He came off the floor fast. He didn't get set. He's got a really narrow grip relatively for his jerk. The jerk's a problem for him. I'm not his coach, but I think I try to change each of those things. Doesn't push through. Could split wider so you get his body lower under the bar.
The Moldovan Sheshia still leading the clean and jerk by lighter body weight as Dabaya comes out for 175. So 3 kilo increase.
But this is an enormous step psychologically, don't you think? I mean, the way this goes.
Well, rewind the years, no problem.
Right, but in recent history, I mean, this would make him 5 for 6, I hope. I didn't jinx him by saying that. I think he's looking good right now. A little mental rehearsal probably right now, visualizing that lift.
This for the overall lead. Still has one attempt left after this, whatever happens. Would be great if he can get this. Good clean.
Strong. Oh, good. Yeah.
Very good.
I got to tell you, I'm really happy to see him make that. Yeah, he's back. He's back, I'll tell you.
Well, he's going for one of those 3 places in the Olympic Games, and 3:18 by virtue of lighter body weight takes him ahead of Bayromov, ahead of Matam. His own teammate Avertisian of Armenia drops to 4th place, and Sheshir of Moldova is overall 5th at the moment, the man from the B group in the clean and jerk. Sheshir still on, well, actually looking at that on Dabaya taking 175. Oleg Chen, half-time leader.
Oh man, look at this. Okay, the wheels are coming off the car really fast here for him, unfortunately.
Well, I'm not quite sure about this limping off the stage.
Yeah, I don't know, and he looked at the hand, on the first attempt, but here's the bottom line. Things are unwinding for him rapidly now. He's got 1 attempt left. They're probably going, why didn't we open at 170,
Yeah. Yeah, particularly when you've got a 13
That's
kilo.
What I mean.
If you leak a few kilos, who cares?
Just hold on a second, Dave.
Absolutely.
If he wins it by 1, it's enough.
Yeah.
If he wins it by body weight, it's enough.
Yeah. And don't you think they wish they had that chance over again to make that call?
Yeah, because he can't go down. He's stuck on 175.
Okay.
And he's missed twice.
Yeah.
Back against the wall.
So Oleg Chen of Russia has to come out again, and this is a big moment. David Rigger, with all his experience, back to you there on the right-hand side now. He's really got to put this man together after 2, faint-hearted attempts. He's got to get out there, and he's got to really attack. Now, he won't be in the clean and jerk medals, but he would maintain his advantage in the overall championship if he manages to get this. So this to stay alive. Struggled now, and he's lost out there. No total. The world silver medalist goes from hero to 0, and a 13 kilo advantage just disappears in the space of something like 180 seconds. And Oleg Chen just not strong enough to actually pick up this bar, and the door for everyone else is open. Well, in the overall championship of Europe at the moment, Dabaya of France leads 3:18 on bodyweight over Bayromov of Azerbaijan. Matam of France in 3rd place. Avertisian 3:16. Sheshir of Moldova from the B group actually in 5th place on 3:15, like Kanya of Albania. And now this is Minshev, and the bar going up 5 kilos. This will take him to 3:16. It's his last attempt, but it is a 5 kilo increase, and this would take him to 1st in the clean and jerk and overall 4th. So this could be some consolation for Bulgaria. The older of the 2 Bulgarians at 28 years of age. Last time we saw him in Europe, he failed to total. Definitely got a total today. Now, has he got the strength to chuck this overhead? No, he hasn't. And it leaves him down in something like 7th place at the moment. Minshev on 311. And he's 171 is his best to clean and jerk. Just about made the target that the coaches were looking for before this evening's competition started. So just looking at the board now, Avetisian, 4 kilo increase coming up, which will take him from 316 to 320, which will put him in the lead. Bayramov still got 2 attempts to come. Dabaya with 1. Kaya, Matam, Betula and Godeli all have 1 lift left. But this could be important for the Armenian. Avetisian, 6th in Europe last year, totaled up 312. He's on 316, so that is better. Didn't total in the World Championships in Paris. Opportunity. Nope. Not the strength to put that over his head in the correct fashion, and what that means is that he's actually left on 316 in 4th place. So Dabaya prevails at the moment. Bayramov, Azerbaijan with 2 attempts to come. Couple of useful cards for him to play, and it's going to be Dabaya to come out. No, it's not. Dabaya's gone to 178. Betula, Yunda Betula, the younger of the Bulgarians, currently at the moment in 9th place and looking for 177. Now 177, if he could lift it, that would take him into gold medal position in the clean and jerk and up into 7th place overall. Here he is, 4th in the Junior Europeans last season. 170 was his best then. He's already improved in the first half of the competition. A new personal best from 131 up to 136. So this would be a 7 kilo new personal best, and it would take him to 313. He'd actually push his teammate down a place, but into the clean and jerk medals. If he can stand up here, very hard clean. Bar just lopsided down to his right. Very deep split, he can't do that. And the bar rolls off and the opportunity is lost, and he finds himself left in 9th place. Lifts running out now. Dabaya with 1, Kalya from Albania with 1, Matam of France with 1 left. Godeli, who's still to get a total. 1 to come, and it's Matam now. Currently in 3rd place overall. And this is 173 up to 177. So this for a total of 322, which would give him both the lead in the clean and jerk and the overall. Now the first one he never got to grips with. The second one was really painful to watch, particularly the left arm. Managed 4 kilos more than this in Paris in the World Championships, but is he in shape physically and mentally to lift up this weight? Big moment for Bernardin Matam, the younger brother of the Matam dynasty, Samson and David. That's the best of the cleans for sure. Arms out. No. And he stays in the bronze medal position. Matam, 4th place in the clean and jerk, bronze overall. And Kalya of Albania now to come on 177. And this is a big lift here, 7 kilos. And again, it's high stakes poker. He's on 315. This would take him to 322. If he goes there, he takes the lead in the competition. He takes the lead in the clean and jerk. Under 23 European bronze medalist with a total of 311 last season. Currently has 315. pretty quiet about his work. Once again, just found wanting, but it was a decent effort there. He's left in 6th place. And it's going to be Gadeli still in the wings with 2 cards to play. Afghan Bayramov of Azerbaijan. Interesting the way the cards are falling now, because Bayramov has got the bar up to 178. That's what he wants. That will be his 2nd attempt, so he will go before Dabaya, who's also got 178. So Dabaya in a good position at the moment. Gadeli now in a situation where he's got to save the day. He has not got a good clean and jerk here. He's gone from 170 failure to 175 to 177. But again, because he brings forward from the first half of the competition 145, and because Oleg Chen has bombed out the half-time leader, this could give him the overall lead. He literally would go from nowhere. And once again, you saw there the bar going forward. He didn't get underneath it, and the hips went back, and that's lost. He gets no total, and we have 3 lifts left to go. Dabaya with 1, buckles under the weight, and it's going to be Bayramov to go next on 178. Bayramov currently on the same kilos as Dabaya. Matam now secure in overall bronze for France. The top 3 men all on 318. It's bodyweight deciding it. Dabaya 68.36, Bayramov 68.38, Matam 68.50. No one can take overall bronze away from Matam. It's between Bayramov and Dabaya for the championship. 2nd attempt, 178. 3 kilos to go to 321. Stands up well. And Azerbaijan yet again in the ascendant. And this is where the French have to decide how they're going to challenge. And they're going to send Dabaya up for 178. And what they're thinking is, this is where our man can be. If he gets this, he will go back into 1st place by virtue of lighter body weight. And then Bayramov will have 1 more attempt to snatch back the championship and the lead. So Dabaya, what a comeback this could be. 6 out of 6. Having bombed out in recent years in no less than 3 major championships at European and world level. He did total in Paris. That was 313. He's already on 318 here. Fingertips adjust, out we go, and suddenly the weight of the bar and maybe the challenge just disappearing out of him, and it means that France end up with overall silver and bronze, and Bayramov of Azerbaijan with 1 free lift to go has won the men's 69 kilo final as a result of his last clean and jerk, and he's going to put the bar to 182. And Bayramov really lifting well. 182. This is what Bayramov actually lifted in 2009 in the European Championships. And Dabaya, weight and belief, strength and belief, both evaporating at the most inopportune moment. But nonetheless, 5 out of 6, that's a real comeback for Dabaya. So here we go. And Azerbaijan already at the top of the medal table. So this is a 4 kilo increase to take him to 325, not the highest total he's ever amassed. Back in 2009 at the European Championships in Bucharest, he finished 4th. He missed out on the bronze medal by a kilo. Then he totaled 329. He's won this title with 321. But can he put a little more distance between himself and Dabaya? Very hard clean. Running out of gas, running out of energy. No, and gave it all he had left, but 321 it is. It's another title to Azerbaijan. So France take overall silver and bronze, but this rise of Azerbaijan, yeah, well, I was predicting it at the beginning of the championships. We've seen it. It's a combination of imported athletes and homegrown talent.
Yeah, it's the Bulgarian connection certainly doesn't hurt.
You know, when you take in also Plamen Zeliakov, a very, very world-class, top lifter. You're taking someone in. There he is, actually, on the right of your screen.
Zlatan Banev.
Sorry. Yeah. Beg your pardon. Confusing Bulgarians.
Yeah.
But there it is, clean and jerk. And 178 by 3 kilos. Look at Sheshir there, Moldova, 175 from the B group. Well done to him. He gets the silver medal in the clean and jerk. Dabaya gets the bronze. Matam is a teammate in 4th place.
What a night for Dabaya, huh?
Yeah, what a story about Oleg Chen, though. I mean, That's the real mystery, really, in a way.
What a sea of red ink up there. How many misses? How many guys having a shot at basically the throne that you would have thought he would have been sitting in at that point, right? First place, he seemed to have a lock on it, right? And everything crumbled, and look at how many misses there were.
19 red failures. As you see, Bayramov successful at the second attempt to secure the title, but 10 players, 30 lifts, 19 failures.
Right, and look, snatches, it's the mirror image of that. Snatches, almost every lift was good.
Yeah, complete reversal. But Bayramov finally gets a European title, and well, the medal table, Azerbaijan, we'll get to that in a moment, but there's Bayramov, 321. Dabaya, 5 out of 6. For me, it was a combination of the weight and something in his head.
Yeah.
The two things thwarted him at the same time.
Right. I mean, didn't you think even his face reflected sort of that confidence and that purpose that I don't think we had really seen? He was looking sort of blank lately when he came out.
Indeed. Well, we're going to stay for the medal ceremonies and the song of Azerbaijan, which is becoming a little